to Donald Trump's left, your right on the screen, that is the CEO of IBM, Ginni Rometty. And later today, at some point later today, Ginni Rometty will announce that she'll be hiring 2,000 veterans. Now, this is part of a pledge to hire 25,000 new people by the year 2020, many of which jobs will not require four-year college degrees. But as part of this, this is breaking news, by the way, folks, that IBM will be hiring 2,000 U.S. veterans. So we expect that announcement from Ginni Rometty of IBM later on today. As you can see, directly to the right of Angela Merkel is Ivanka Trump. To the right of Ivanka Trump is Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff. Now, to the left of Ginni Rometty, again, to your right as you're viewing the screen, is Jared Kushner. So this is the who's who of business and political leaders in the White House right now.
We also have Klaus Rosenfeld, the CEO of Schaeffler, a German company. Joe Kaeser is the CEO of Siemens, not to mention Harold Kruger of BMW. And for the U.S., beyond Ginni Rometty and Mark Benioff, that we've already told you about, Andrew Liveris is in the room. He's the CEO of Dow Chemical. Let's listen to Donald Trump.
And we'll get on to a little bit more private meeting. Okay? Ginni?
Okay. I'm Ginni Rometty with IBM, and we're going to talk about two programs. One is a certification program, which, Mr. President, today we're going to announce 2,000 veterans that we're certifying in cybersecurity to be employed. And then the second is something called PTech, a public-private partnership. Think of it as a 6-year high school, but the graduates come out with an associate degree and with a curriculum that business will hire. And we will have 100 schools by the end of the year. And you'll meet one of our recent graduates in a second. Janelle Richards will introduce herself and tell you about herself. Trained at the intersection of business and technology.
Great, Ginni. Thank you.
We found
All
that
right, let's get to Eamon Javers, who's standing by in the East Room. Remember, this is playback on tape. Let's go now live to the East Room because we are awaiting the live news conference between President Trump and Angela Merkel. Eamon, what do you got?
Yeah, that's right, Michelle. No word yet on whether we're going to get a 2-minute warning here or whether the two leaders are simply going to walk in here behind me. That always disrupts some of the reporters who are doing their live shots, so we'll see how that one breaks down. But you heard the president there in those remarks with Angela Merkel giving a shout out to his former TV show, the reality show The Apprentice. He says he likes apprenticeship. That's the word he wants them to use here in the United States. But also some diplomatic use of flattery there. You heard the president talking about Germany being a model for the apprenticeship program and saying that the United States has a lot to learn from that nation. That's something that goes a long way in diplomatic circles. Both leaders there in those remarks clearly making an effort to patch over some of the rough spots in their relationship. We'll see whether that continues here on stage as they get what's called a 2-and-2 is what we expect here. That's usually 2 questions from the American press and then 2 questions from the foreign, in this case, German press. We'll see what's on the mind of the foreign press and what's on the mind of the U.S. press here as well. But that
Eamon?
effort to yeah, go ahead.
I just want to let you know that we're looking at the video, and Peter Navarro is sitting at the table. And
that's an interesting one.
I was just going to, is that interesting, Eamon?
Yeah, well, look, Peter Navarro told you, right, that he had some problems with Germany in terms of the way they handle currency overall, thinking that Germany was sticking it to the United States in terms of currency and in terms of trade in particular and the bilateral trade relationship. So that's an interesting figure to have at the table with the Chancellor of Germany in the room. We'll see whether his rhetoric is the kind of rhetoric that the president uses here, or whether he uses sort of more diplomatic, formal language here in the East Room. But that is an interesting thing. I can't see that tape from here, so interesting to spot who's in the room. Also, Ivanka Trump's role here is fascinating to me because she was in the room earlier in the year when they did roundtable discussions with CEOs. Both she and Jared Kushner played an important role in that event, and now we see her here again. We're trying to figure out exactly what her portfolio is going to be. She's obviously a crucial advisor to her father, the president, but which issues she decides to get involved in is also interesting in terms of the Kremlin watching of who's in power and what issues they're taking on here at the White House.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.